Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. Today, we're in the middle of the week. We're going to be checking out the third track for our Modern Prog week. And this one, we're returning to a band that I am actually extremely stoked to check out again. This is a band that I've really enjoyed, that you guys have introduced me to since the channel started. We have requests coming in from Santiago Pollo, Alex G, Jacob Teasdale, Zach Hanley, Rares McCovey, Hazard Racing, Jeff Green, Player One, and YDX, or maybe something like IDX. Not really sure there. Uh, yeah. So, one of the things that I really like about the Deer Hunter is how varied they are. But it's also kind of one of the things I'm not too keen on as far as reactions go because I really enjoyed the sounds of the song that we listened to first. I think the song was in the title was in Latin or something like that. Um, it was this nice mix of like jazzy, ska, metalcore, post-hardcore kind of punk thing. Um, and the second one we checked out, I remember it was a lot softer. It was almost like straight up jazz, I think. I really want that harsher edge in there to kind of serve as like a dichotomy and have these two very different ideas kind of mashed together, peanut butter and jelly style, peanut butter and chocolate style. That's better. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm looking for here, and hopefully we can find that in this track from the Deer Hunter. Is there anybody here?
I lay my body down to rest my weary head.
Gorgeous voice, some nice strings going on.
Someone there. I left myself for dead. So is there anybody here who can tell me where I am, or at least where I have been? Because I fear I'm lost.
We got a really strong, poppy-ish intro going on here. Digging it. Ooh. Love that bass line.
I left my soul exposed to frail hands who hold my fate up in the air.
Really strong, interesting, sparse drum line right here. I'm really digging it.
The meaning of it all, down to the floor.
Those backup choirs.
Is there anybody who can tell me where I am? Waking in the afternoon, a captive
All right.
in a passive tomb. Moments turn to long
That vocal run.
Just waking in the afternoon, a captive in a passive tomb. Moments turn to long Decembers, stoking fires from dying embers. I try to move them in
That
my
return to
lips
home
and kiss
in the chord
never
progression is just such a
ends.
nice little uplift. Love it.
Calling the alchemy, a phantom staring back at me, a pain I simply can't express, troubles I have long repressed.
Okay, so the song has been very loose with its time so far. Um, and right here, we're getting this real rigid line. Beautiful guitar solo. Yeah. Okay, so I'm a bit torn here because I absolutely adore this. This is this is pretty much straight up jazz right here. Um, even the guitar solo at the end, which would be the rockiest part, it has the distorted guitar there, can still be found in some of the heavier jazz tracks, and it was a fairly restrained guitar solo with more emphasis on telling a story and kind of having that narrative work in there. Not only that, but it also replicated the vocal line at the end and played it with tremolo picking rather than held notes. And I think that was the vocal line. Anyways, though, um, and kind of brought that back in to end the song with, and even though it had some sounds of rock and metal kind of stuff in the guitar, a lot of the composition in that solo still kind of lend themselves towards the jazz side of things. Um, but yeah, so I love everything about this. However, it didn't really seem proggy, and it's still not what I'm looking for as far as my favorite part of Dream Theater. My favorite part of the Deer Hunter. And I gotta look this up real quick. Um, Let me pull this. So okay, so the last one we checked out was A Night on the Town. And much like this, I really dug that one, but it was more of a jazz song. The one before that was In Caude Venom. Is that is that right? I think I'm mispronouncing this last word. Uh, Venenum. In Cauda Venenum. And let's see, that was off of Act 3. Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to go find some more songs off of Act 3. And you know what? Scrap this plan. The plan starts with Act 1. That's what I need to do. I need to find Act 1 and start from the beginning and listen to them all the way up. I just need to get all their albums and do that. And yeah, I think that's the plan. I think this is the last The Deer Hunter uh, single song reaction. I have enjoyed too much of their stuff to just keep listening to them piecemeal when obviously they are a band best absorbed completely rather than piecemeal. Um, as to criticism and things that I've noticed about the track itself, um, it's just a really cool track. I mean, there's not much I can really say that's technically impressive. They have some really cool key signature, sorry, not key signature, chord progression stuff going on, and their chord progressions were longer than 4 bars or 4 chords, anyways. Um, some of them went up to 8, and I think 8 might have been the longest. Um, but yeah, when you expect it to repeat, we actually get into a bit of a tense area. It sounded like it might have been a minor or diminished on chord 5 when you're really expecting us to hit back home. But yeah, it's just really cool stuff playing around with that. And just overall, it's just a really solid jazz tune. We got some cool stuff going. Well, yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. It doesn't do swing, but you don't have to swing to be jazz. You don't. So yeah, I'm gonna say this is a pretty standard jazz song. We could even probably say it's a pop song with a little bit more attention to composition. Other than the ending, the guitar solo really takes it out of that pop realm. But it to me, it's not a song about the music. The music is there to kind of create the atmosphere and the emotions for what's going on with the singer, who's obviously, lost. And it fits within the wider story of Act 4, at least. I don't know if their albums are all a large story, or if each one is self contained, but, this one track doesn't really do a lot, but I'm sure it fits in with the context of the rest of the album, which probably makes it, I don't know, gives it more weight than it has on its own. Um, like I said, I dig the song. There's some really great stuff in there, but it's also fairly simplistic and very circulatory. There is not a lot of change going on in here. Uh, Basically, as far as I can tell, we have the beginning and the end. And the end was also just kind of the beginning with the guitar solo over it. Um, it really is kind of a single idea song. And I give them props for holding my attention all the way through. It didn't really dawn on me till just now that there isn't a lot of variation or evolution going on in the track. But if you can keep my attention and kind of hide the fact that there's not much evolution going on, and keep me entertained for that time, even though there's not much, there's nothing really changing. You did that well. I've stated before, there's no hard and fast rules to writing music. No one can say that using a single concept is bad writing. In fact, there are a lot of examples of writing using a single concept and making amazing works. So you can't put them down specifically for that. And I think one of my most baseline criteria for using a single idea is for it not to seem repetitious. Unless, of course, that's what you're going for. If that's your theme, then run with that idea. But for the most part, in just general music writing, if you're gonna stick with a single idea, you can't be boring. And I was not bored listening to this, so they executed that concept well. Um, Even though I don't know, the context of where this fits into the larger album. So yeah, that's kind of a short analysis. I wish I had more to say about this song in particular, but I'm just missing too much context to really delve into anything. And on its own, it's a fairly straightforward song that really doesn't have much much to dive into. It comes across as a song that's lyrical heavy, and that's not really that's not really what we do here on this channel too often. Lyrics are not my strong point, especially for a first listen. So it's where you guys come in. You can go ahead and suggest Deer Hunter stuff if you want, but like I said, I think this is going to be the last single reaction. I got to get my hand on these albums and maybe do some album reactions for this stuff because it's just on their own, they're good songs, but everybody keeps telling me how great this band is, and I think that what's going to push me from seeing them as from good to great is the context of the album. So I don't want to shortchange them anymore. We're just gonna have to do full album reviews. Um, but I guess you can let me know. Should I start with Act One and go through and go from beginning to end, which makes sense to me personally, or should I start in the greatest? Is there an album that just overshadows the rest? Should I start from their worst? Maybe their first album was actually really good, and their third one was kind of iffy, and maybe I should start with that and just see them ascend to greatness. Just a scale, just keep going up. Um, I don't know. You guys can let me know how I should go about doing that. And while you're down there in comments, you can like, subscribe, and ring the bell. All three of those things help out the channel immensely. My Twitter and Patreon links are in the description as well if you'd like to check those out. And I have one more episode coming up right now. It should already be uploaded. And it is my Patreon picks for Wednesday of this week. So stick around for that if you're interested. If not, I will see you tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC as usual. Until then, you guys stay safe out there and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.